Hello, friends. Welcome to this session. I would like to appreciate you for the lovely responses that you gave to my first video, and I would try to keep delivering the same value in my upcoming videos. So let's get started with today's topic. And today's topic is what is the challenge that cloud is trying to solve. So yesterday we discussed about what is cloud, and we discussed a few of challenges from a lower level point. But today we are going to talk at a broader level, the major challenges, IT challenges that cloud solves. So there are various cloud providers like Amazon, Google, and Azure. But what are the challenges they are solving? So let's take an example. Let's assume that I'm a startup. I want to, start a company. Now we would talk about two scenarios. How what was the case in a traditional world, and what is the case when I start in considering that we have cloud in place. So traditionally, when there were no cloud companies, if I had to start up my company, imagine I have got, let's say 10 developers. I want to develop my own product. So I have got some ideas, software ideas of creating some product. I have got 10 developers on the floor. Now, before I get started, maybe I would, to start my company, I will have to book some office space, which is a must. But the important point was I had to uh, order some servers. So there would be my developers. I would, of course, be procuring some laptops and devices for them. So that is a kind of expense that I'll have to make, which is understood. But talking about the servers, the product that I need to build, I will have to procure some servers, which earlier were a physical box in the form of ESX servers. So you can say VMware servers. So these were, when I say server, think of it as a, just like we had our desktops. So this is a robust configuration where you have, let's say, 64 GB of RAM. Uh, in fact, 64 is very less, but a huge capacity of RAM, huge capacity of CPU, and huge capacity of storage. Because when we think of server, what it needs is CPU, RAM, storage, and OS. So this is what it needs. But since I'm a startup, I'll have to procure this in advance. So let's say if I order a server, it used to cost somewhere around 5 to 10 lakhs, which is just a minimum configuration that I'm telling you about. And on these servers, you know, we'll have to create some VMs, or a web server where my developers would actually be working. Now, if I go on procuring this physical servers, believe me, it would take some time in exploring, or what are different configurations available, different companies available into this, and till I get all the approvals from finance and every department, and by the time I place my order, and by the time I get my server physically dispatched and delivered to me, believe me, it would take 3 to 6 months minimum. So now that I have lost 3 to 6 months, I had been paying my those developers which were already ready on the floor, and we haven't started with the work yet. Moreover, now this server is not something that you can keep aside here and start working. I'll need a separate room where I could keep this server and could maintain the electrical working conditions, where there would be some AC, cooling, and all those things in place. Of course, I would need an electrician to ensure all those electrical things are in place. I would need a system administrator to take care of how those servers are handled, how those virtual machines are created on this physical box and are administered, so that the access is given to my developers, and then that is when my developer would start. So before I could start with the development of product, I ended up having other overheads of procurement and hiring, or looking out for electrician, paying for additional rental space, hiring administrators for to look after that server. Whereas my expertise was simply into development, product development. So I had to spend additional energy on this overhead. I had lost 6 months. I had been paying my developers. So these were the additional overheads that I have done, but I have not yet launched or even started with my product. Let's say after 6 months, now I have got started with my development of my product. I have got 10 ideas. Uh, that is when I would get started, and it might take 6 more months to try and test out my those ideas. So let's say if one idea out of it got success, so the my time to market was 1 year. 6 months I lost in procurement and getting things ready, and 6 months was lost in development of the product. So my time to market, my time that I took to develop a product and bring it to the market was at least a year. And this is considering the minimum, you can say, bare hours, you can say. But considering the scenario that now we have in cloud, so what I can do is, instead of hiring or getting those servers, what I could do is I can provision those servers on cloud with a flick of moment. If I have, like, we can create Amazon account in less than 5 minutes, and I can procure, or you can say create some other test machines uh, in another 5 minutes. So I can have all those test machines ready in say 15 to 20 minutes in a moment of click. So my developers would be able to start right away or from the next day, and uh, I would be able to create product much faster. Now think, how many products would I be able to create or try and test in this 6 months? Just because I have all the machines available in cloud, I don't have the overhead to pay for those electricians to administration, or for to the administrators, or even pay for the additional rental space where I used to keep those servers for electrical cooling and those stuff. So those overhead are gone. I can concentrate on my product and creation of my product. Moreover, now my developers got started working from immediately the next day. So that is, my time to market would be reduced. Moreover, in this 6 months, I can try n number of ideas, not just 5 or 10, n number of ideas. And if one idea works, I would be able to bring my product to the market in less than 6 months, maybe, or let's assume 6 months. But still, I have reduced the time to half or more than half. So this is the power of cloud. And now my totally concentration would be on my product and not the other overheads that was the case in the traditional environments. So this is just one such highlight. There are many other areas as well, but I just wanted to bring quickly the power of cloud that it brings with the features that it has got. So hope you would enjoy this. I would take this discussion into more deep in our upcoming session. See you in the next. Thank you.